I've known Abbas Elias for decades, and I've seen his work for decades. I think when you're a child, you're attracted by pretty colors, by the reds and the greens and the vibrancy of the colors, but also the way they're kind of a kaleidoscope. And that's appealing to a child. You don't know why, but you find yourself attracted to them. I'm older now. I have no training in art whatsoever, but I know what I like. There's a famous art critic, his name was Clement Greenberg, and he said, I always return to the evidence of my eye. And so I kind of, in my appreciation of art, which is unschooled, I take that as kind of my mantra. Do I like it? Do I like what I'm looking at? And then I go from there. I sort of say, well, why? Why do I like it? So as an adult now, I find that Abbas Elias's art is anything but childish. The colors are vibrant, but the portraiture of the characters in them are often quite serious, actually. So if we take, for example, a lot of his artwork is of women, either individual, but the ones that I particularly like are when we see women together in a group. Their faces are often turned away from the viewer in an attitude of striving, of earnestness, and also there's a counterpoint in which the characters are united. They often are sort of set against one another, not against one another, but kind of in a row. Maybe their shoulders are touching, they're looking to the side, and they present almost a united front. And yet the visual field is often bisected into different segments, which kind of suggests to me that there are forces of disunity all around them that are playing on them, that are playing on their lives. And these segments are themselves often in different colors. I don't want to try to guess too much, but what do I know? But I mean, the colors of red suggest heat and passion and conflict, perhaps. The colors of green are the colors of life and health and what is verdant and flourishing. The colors of maybe yellow, hope and joy and brightness. So it's an interesting sort of set of discordant elements that on the one hand suggest division and forces of eruption and power, but on the other hand you have this foreground dominant image of women united and struggling in a serious way against these forces that behind them seem to be dividing the world. And that image, in the end, I find in his work to be a sign of hope and transcendence, that things around us may be fracturing and in a million different pieces, but before us, we can see signs of advancement, of courage, of growth. And particularly in Abbas's art, it's often portraits of women who are standing strong, women who are advancing and progressing. And I can't think of a more hopeful dialogue with the observer than a portrait of daughters, mothers, grandmothers standing strong against the forces that are exploding all around us in a wall of femininity and of womanhood. That, for me, as a son, as a husband, as a brother, is a sign that gives me great hope.